What is going on, my people? Good afternoon. It is your main man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. I welcome each and every one of you to episode 197. We are in the 15 days of Christmas series, and we're covering 2 days yet again because I was sick last week. So these are days 10 and 11. Today, we're going to discuss, does inflation mean I can't refinance? But before we get into this stuff, I want to make sure that I practice the attitude of gratitude and say thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every member of Wild Nation who are here with me live as I stream across the Wealth Our Way Facebook and YouTube pages. I also want to give the Wealth Our Way Nation salute to the many members of Wild Nation who watch the program overnight, pre-recorded, wherever they can squeeze 15 minutes of financial literacy in, and then a heartfelt how are you to the good folks on the Life 101 platform who listen to the audio recording of this very here program. I want to tell you guys that we are getting closer and closer to the holiday season. I can't believe how fast this year has flown by. Covering these tips in the 15 days of Christmas has been rewarding for me. It's also let me know that there's so much more information that you guys need. Oh, I almost forgot. I have not given all the details of the It's the Thought That Counts holiday program. So I'm going to do that on Thursday because as you can see, I'm in my car. I'm on the road today. I was shut down all last week due to being sick, and now I have errands to run, things to do. But I promise tomorrow on the Financial Power Hour and Thursday on 15 Minutes of Finance, we will go into details about the It's the Thought That Counts Christmas program giveaway here at Wealth Our Way. Today, what I want to do is make a quick 15 minutes of finance to talk about inflation and how it affects your decision to refinance because interest rates have been rising, prices have been rising. People are concerned as to whether they can afford their bills, and a lot of people are looking at debt consolidation. But in the face of rising prices, we also have rising interest rates. And with interest rates rising, we're not really sure if it makes sense to refinance. So I want to kind of go over the simple mathematics of what refinancing means and what you need to look for to determine if refinancing any debt that you have, whether it's your mortgage, whether it's your car note, whether it's credit card, student loan debt, whether refinancing makes sense to you. So when you consider, well, let's talk about what refinancing is. Let's start there. So whenever you have borrowed money from somebody, and that's a mortgage, you could borrow money to buy a house, business loan, borrow money for your business, student loan, borrow money to go to school, car loan, borrow money to buy a car, consumer debt, credit card, borrowing money to just buy daily items. And I hope you're not borrowing money to buy daily items. I hope you only use your credit cards in case of emergency, like I'm always telling you to. But in any event, all of these things come with terms. And the first term that you're probably most familiar with is the annual percentage rate. That's the cost to borrow the money. It's normally stated in a percentage. Your mortgage has a rate of 5% on it. Your credit card may have a rate of 20% on it. Your student loan may have a rate of 6% on it. So you have these interest rates. But that's not the only term that comes with a loan. The other thing is, how much did you borrow? What is the principal amount? Did you borrow $200,000 to get a mortgage? Did you put $200 on your credit card? These are the principal amount figures. The next thing is the term of repayment. How long do you have to get this money from you back to the person who lent it to you? It could be 30 years in the case of a mortgage, 10 years in the case of a business loan, 7 years in the case of a car note. They're just all different types of terms. You have to figure out all of these variables before you decide if refinancing makes sense for you. I see a lot of people when they refinance their home, they do what's called a debt consolidation, and they take their credit cards and they roll it into their new mortgage. I never think that's a good idea. What they are being told, there, see, you get a little bit of information and half information is dangerous. They're being told, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Consumer, you have a credit card with an interest rate of 15% on it, and you got $3,000 that you owe. we're refinancing your home and your mortgage is only going to have an interest rate of 4%. Isn't 4% lower than 15? And you're shaking your head like, yeah, hell yeah, it's lower. Well, why don't you just put that credit card debt into the mortgage and go down from 15% interest to 4% interest? Now, on the top, that sounds like a good idea. The problem is, whereas you may have only paid this credit card back for the next 3 years or 5 years, you have now put that debt into a mortgage that you're going to be paying back for 30 years. So when you look at your total sum that you're paying back, which is the principal amount that you borrowed plus the interest you'll pay over time, even though your payment's going to shrink down, you may have had a credit card payment of $200 a month. Rolling it into your mortgage now makes it $11 a month. Sounds like a better deal, right? But now you're going to pay $11 for the next 360 months, as opposed to paying $200 for maybe the next 8 months. So you have to look at the total amount paid back whenever you refinance anything. So now let's go back to what I'm talking about on whether you should refinance right now. I keep getting things in the mail, and I talked about this in the earlier 15 days of Christmas from Capital One, because I'm a good Capital One client, and they're asking me to refinance my car note. Well, I have a car that I bought in 2019. It's a 6 year car note, and my interest rate is 3%. They keep sending me that I'm pre approved for an 8% refinance. Why would I do that? Why would I take a loan that I'm only paying 3% on and roll it into a new loan with new longer terms and pay 8%? Well, I'll tell you why somebody might do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll tell you why somebody might do it, because the payment's going to go down. Right now, my car note might be $750. If I did the refinance, my car note may go all the way down to $480. That's $270 a month of cash flow. For most people, especially when inflation is high and times are tight, they could use that 270. Do not sacrifice your long-term financial health for a short-term break on your pocket. It may feel like the right thing to do, but it's the wrong thing to do. Whenever you're looking at your financial situation, you always have to forecast very much into the future how this affects you. So when you're looking at the different options that you can refinance, whether it's your home, whether I'm out the picture frame, whether it's your home, whether it's your student loan, whether it's your car note, make sure you are looking at how much money you're going to end up paying back in total. That should always be how we determine whether we're going to refinance or not. What is the total amount of our spend? Unfortunately, and this is why they keep making car notes longer and longer and longer. Unfortunately, we live as individuals based on what our monthly afford rate is. And if we can make I hear people say it all the time, if I can get my car payment to be this, I'll be good. You don't care if you're going to pay this car payment till you're 93 years old. Like you just you want the payment to be a certain amount. That's never a good idea. So as we look to get into the end of the year and we're all spending money, if you're going to refinance any existing debts, make sure you are checking the interest rate, the terms, and the total amount paid back. So with that being said, I want you guys, I told you I can keep it brief today because I'm on the road. I want you guys to tune in tomorrow night. We're going to have a great topic and conversation on the inequities in the healthcare landscape, especially as it pertains to African American and in particular African American women. Just the disparities in healthcare, how they're treated, how things look, and whether it's bleak or whether it's promising to get better. With that being said, I wish you a great start to your week. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. And remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy. You guys take care.